Come with me through the veil and let me show you what I have seen. Mount up on wings as eagles. Soar with me to the summit and let me show you what has been shown to me. Take the eyesalve and anoint your eyes so that you may see clearly, for I want to show you the church I see. The church I see is a vibrant, dynamic body of wholesome believers, pulsating with the life of God and exuding the very fragrance of His beauty and His love. The church I see is a mighty flowing torrential river, flowing in the power of the Holy Spirit, undamable and unstoppable. Not a stagnant cesspool of religion and tradition, not a tiny ankle-deep stream, not even knee-deep or waist-deep, but a mighty river with an incredible current. Once you jump in, it takes over. You are no longer in charge. It is a river that carries the life of God with it wherever it goes.
The church I see is both numerically large and spiritually deep. A replica on earth of the General Assembly in heaven, the church of the firstborn, whose gatherings are attended by an innumerable company of angels. It's a church that does not lose its depth because of its largeness. A church where members are accountable to God and to one another, where each person enjoys a deep, refreshing personal encounter with God at every meeting. The church I see is an international worship center consisting of people from every race, tongue, tribe, and nation, where racism and every form of ungodly discrimination is forever banished. It's a church where people are free to be themselves, knowing that their ultimate identity comes from their personal relationship with God through His Son, Jesus Christ.
The church I see is a missionary equipping and sending station where 52 weeks a year, missionaries are being sent out into the local community and to the uttermost parts of the earth with the saving power of Jesus Christ. It's a church whose doors are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where ministry is not restricted only to designated service times. The church I see is a perfect cube. Its length, breadth, and height are equal. A church that is square, solid, strong. The word is strong. Prayer is strong. Ministry to children and youth is strong. Community outreach and social action is strong. A church that is well-rounded. The church I see is relevant and practical in its outreach to society. A church that is answering the questions that people are asking. It's a place where needs are met, where broken hearts are mended and hurts are healed. It's a place where the waters are always stirred, where the balm of Gilead flows without ceasing. The church I see is an apostolic governing center, a church that accepts spiritual responsibility for its community, its society, and its nation. It's a church that settles social and political issues in prayer and is not afraid to speak out boldly against social ills and injustices. The church I see is one of tremendous influence, whose leaders are regularly consulted by government on issues of policy before major decisions are made.
The church I see is a church of excellence, radiating the beauty and the glory of God in the physical as well as the spiritual. It's a church whose facilities are resplendent and breathtaking, reflecting the beauty of the very heaven she represents. The church I see is a church on the cutting edge, taking full advantage of technology and blazing new trails for the secular world to tread in. It's a church that utilizes every possible means to proclaim the saving message of the gospel to the ends of the earth. The church I see is truly the bride of Christ, the Lamb's wife, having no spot or wrinkle or any such thing. It's a church that is committed to personal and corporate holiness, a church where character and integrity are high on the list of credentials for leadership. The church I see is a supernatural church, moving in all of the gifts of the Holy Spirit. It's a church where miracles, signs, wonders, and healings are a common everyday occurrence. A church where revival, renewal, and reformation are permanent on the agenda. The church I see is a place where souls are saved by their hundreds every day, where the broken and lonely find new hope and acceptance. It's a church where the downtrodden are lifted up and the weary are refreshed. The church I see is an empowering center where ordinary people are challenged, equipped, enabled, and released to live extraordinary lives. It's a church where everyone is encouraged to discover their purpose in life, develop their gifts, talents, and abilities, and to fulfill their ministry.
The church I see is a caring and deeply devoted family where love is not merely a cliche, but a tangible, palpable, visible reality. It's a church where families are strong and family values are held in high esteem. A church where the men are men, strong, focused, and responsible husbands and fathers, where wives submit to and support their husbands, and children honor God and honor their parents. The church I see is a financially prosperous church, where it is commonplace to see people of substance and wealth. It is a church that has at least 70 millionaires and 12 billionaires who understand that the real purpose of wealth is to establish God's covenant in the earth. It's a church where members are financially responsible and are bountiful and liberal givers. A church whose members are the head and not the tail, champions and leaders in their fields of endeavor, and breaking new grounds in the arts and in science and technology. The church I see is a church whose number one priority is to glorify God and to demonstrate His manifold wisdom to the principalities and the powers, and to show His love to a lost and dying world. The church I see is a rampant, prolific body of blood-washed, fire-baptized, tongue-talking, intelligent believers who are secure in their call and who are determined to occupy till He comes. It's a place of contagious joy, full of excitement and fun to be in. This is the church I see, and this church could very well be our church. As a matter of fact, the church I see is our church, New Wine Church. Do not say in your heart, who will ascend into heaven to bring down this church, or who will descend into the depths to bring it up? For the word is near you, in your mouth and in your heart. The church is locked up. This church is locked up within us, in the innermost recesses of our hearts, in our bowels, in our loins, and in our spiritual wombs. And we will pay the price. We will pay the price. We will pay the price. We will travail as Zion and bring forth this child, this church. This church will become a reality in the earth. This church will become a reality in the earth. This church will become a reality in the earth. So let this church emerge. Let her arise in the earth strong and mighty. Let her come forth. Let her step out of the mind of God and into the streets of London. Let her climb out of the pages of the Bible, out of Revelation 21, and become a reality in our day. Let her come forth and be the church of the 21st century.